couple announcements. First from Ariella.
Tomorrow's going to be 100th Decade Day, so you can wear anything from your favorite decade.
Thank you, Ariella. So tomorrow, wear anything you want from your favorite decade. Another announcement. Some of you might have noticed that red berries are starting to appear on the campus. So over the next few days and weeks, our dewberry bushes are going to open, and they look like little red raspberries. You are allowed to eat them. However, when you are looking for berries, just look from the paths. Don't go into the woods to find them because there may be poison ivy. So just help yourself to the berries you see on the paths, and it's very competitive because not only does everyone here want the berries, the birds love the berries. So enjoy those. Today's show is really extra special because so far all of our guest performers have been festival-only performers. They come for the day, they perform for us, they have a 1-hour workshop with our students, and they go home. Today, our guests are the Knights, and they are the artists in residence for this summer, which means they're not just here today, they're here for 3 weeks, and they're not just here this year, they come for several years, so you might recognize some of them. And not only do they come, but over these 3 weeks, they're going to be working and have started working with a lot of the students here to create a new artwork, a new performance that will be performed later this summer. And today they're here with some very special friends, and Carter's going to share a little bit about the Knights because he knows them quite well.
So, first of all, they're awesome. And I know them from like a used dance sandbox, which is like a virtual class where you meet them and you spread your creativity, just like how they spread their creativity through their audiences, like all of you guys. Did I mention they're cool too? Yeah, they really inspired me to do a lot of things, and I think you guys will really like them. They're also pretty cool.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Ariella. So please help me welcome to the stage the Knights with special friends Carolyn Hall and Ross Carr. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Carolyn, and that was Megan on the harp bringing us in with some lovely watery music. And I know the theme is water this year, right? Right, so I want to talk a little bit about where we are. We're on an island, right? What's the name of this island? Long Island. So islands are surrounded by water, right? Yeah, okay, so there's another name for this island, Native American name, Paumanok. It means the fish-shaped island. Did you know that this island is fish-shaped? Yes, okay. So all the way behind me towards Brooklyn and the Hudson River, That's the head, right? And then all the way that way through the trees to the Atlantic Ocean, yeah, that's the tail. And it has a north fork and a south fork. And I just want to talk a little bit about how water has shaped this island. Have you heard of the Ice Age? Thousands and thousands. Yes, I see so many hands. Yes. What happened in the Ice Age? There was a giant, yes, lots of ice. There was a giant glacier, frozen water, a wall of ice moved from the north all the way down, pushing rocks and sand and gravel and boulders all the way. This wall of ice, 2,000 feet high. 2,000 feet high. Do you know how high that is? It would bury the skyscrapers on Manhattan. Completely bury them. So that wall stopped right about here and created a ridge along this fish-shaped island from head to tail. Anyone know what that ridge is called? Terminal moraine. Have you heard that before? Yes. Okay. So that's when this island's sort of height was shaped. Then when the glacier melted, which way did the edge go? Do you guys know? Back north. And then all that melted water landed in a pool on the north side, which became what? What's the water on the north side of the island? The Long Island Sound, which is fresh water and salt water, an estuary. Very special place, full of life. So that's the North Shore. What's the South Shore? The Atlantic Ocean, right? And it was there all along, salty and wavy, but when the glacier melted, the sea level rose to where it is now. So that glacier, that giant glacier melting, created the North Shore that we know and the South Shore that we know. There's another special water feature on this island. Under, deep, deep under. Anybody know what that is? The aquifers. Where do you get your drinking water from on this island? Yes? From rivers, but also from those aquifers. The rivers, the rain and the snow that lands on this island sinks down, sinks down, sinks down, sinks down, sinks down to these sponges of gravel and sand. That is these aquifers. And that's where the drinking water, the tap water, the free water you can drink that tastes so good here, that's where it's from. So this island is shaped by water, is fed by water, and that provides all the life on where we are, our lives and all the lives in the air and the ground and the water. So let's take a moment and envision those swimming, breathing, living creatures that live in all these magical waters around Long Island.
Thank you. Raise your hand if you recognize that piece we just played. Close. Yeah, I know, it sounds like something you've heard. Well, it's from Carnival of the Animals by Saint-Saëns, and it's called Aquarium. So we were imagining all the fishies and all the different sea life floating in the sea there, underneath the water. And so, I'm Colin. We're from a group called the Knights. As Lauren said, we're an orchestra of around 40 people, but we come in all different shapes and sizes, like all the life in the ocean. And I'm here playing this instrument. Yes, and this is my friend Alex, and she plays. And over here we have, yes, and that is Sean. And here's a secret. He's married to the person to his right, which is Megan. So imagine they have to take the two biggest instruments in the orchestra in the same car. And I think USDAN doesn't have a lot of people who play this instrument.
That's great. That's great, guys. Yeah, I'm Megan, and I play the harp. Can I see a show of hands? Raise your hand if you've heard a harp in real life before. Oh my goodness, good for you guys. That's awesome. Well, so you might have heard a harpist play what's called a glissando, which is where we take, have you? Okay, so you take a finger and you can strum up or down. An open invitation to anyone who wants to come find me and play a glissando on the harp this summer.
Thank you, Megan. And actually, the only person who might have as much gear in their car here as Sean and Megan is Ross, our special guest today. And Ross, you're playing all sorts of things that I've never seen anyone play. Can you share a little bit about that?
I would love to. Thank you for having me. I'm a percussionist, and percussion can encompass so many different things. And today I'm focusing, because of the theme of the summer is water, I'm going to play only water percussion, and 3 different types. So you've seen me use the aquarium, which I can submerge percussion instruments in, so putting it underwater. And there's a special microphone that's listening underwater, and so you get to hear that sound. The other thing I'm going to do is float percussion instruments on these pools of water. In these recycled styrofoam bowls, there's water inside, and I'm going to float little pieces of wood on top, and that creates a drum sound that you'll hear later. And finally, has anyone ever heard the sound of a wine glass before with fingers on it? Okay. So tune in, because we're going to have a sound of that later on as well. And what's really interesting to me is, what does it sound like underwater? Because we don't always get to do that, but maybe some of you have gone swimming in a lake before and you've heard a boat across the lake, and somehow you can hear it even though you're on the other side of the lake. So water is a very special place for sound to happen.
Yeah, so I think these are really cool instruments. I mean, that coil's from a car, right?
Yes, this is a car shock. It's a shock from a regular truck.
That's from a car. Okay, so you're playing an aquarium in a car. I get it. Mm-hmm. So what do you want to evoke with these instruments?
Well, I've always been kind of jealous of animals, wildlife, who can go underwater as a big part of what they do. Maybe they're hunting underwater, and they get to hear or experience all of the sounds that happen underwater. And as humans, we don't often have that experience. So I'm trying to make instruments that can hear what a seal might hear, or an otter, or a fish. And I don't even know how a fish hears, but maybe you do.
Well, I mean, we all hear through vibrations, right? What is special about how vibrations travel through water as opposed to air?
So sound travels through air kind of slowly, but still very fast. So it can go 1,000 feet in a second. In the water, sound can go 4,000 feet in a second. So it can go 4 times faster than in the air.
Wow.
Pretty remarkable.
That is remarkable. And so we hear with our ears, right? So we get vibrations in our ears, but fish, with that even faster vibration, does anybody know how fish hear? Oh, I see some hands. What's this called? Gills. Gills is how they breathe. That's close, though. There is I'm going to say a lateral line, right? The fins is how they move. So there's a line on the side of the body called the lateral line, and this lateral line is like their ear. It's like how they smell, and it's how they feel. So that's how they know where everything's happening around them. It's very cool. But I wonder what birds do, because birds are on the surface, but they can go under and above, right?
You know, this talk of above water and underwater also makes me think of those great swimming pools, because we're mostly above water animals, but we do go underwater. Sometimes, next time you're underwater, see what it sounds like. See if you can listen and hear your friends across on the other side of the pool once your ears are all the way submerged in the water.
You got to try that in the pools. Call to your friends. Okay, and so now we're going to explore the world of the water birds, the world of the on the water, above and below, with Song of the Black Swan.
Fantastic. How about a hand for our magnificent black swan, Miley Okumura? Just gorgeous. So we have one more song we're going to play for you, and it's a song that I wrote about a friend of mine who's a hang glider or parasailer. And he came to Hawaii, which is an island that I'm from, and he brought his wing with him and went up to the top of mountains to a very special place with lots of training and jumped off with the wing on his back and a video camera and took videos of soaring over the ocean and around the mountains. And he came back and showed me the videos, and it was so beautiful and inspiring. I wanted to try to create the feeling I had inside seeing that soaring over the ocean in music. And so this piece is me trying to evoke the same emotions in music that I had when I watched this video. Thank you all so much for being here. And this is Jan's Flight.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone. One last special thing. Let's show our appreciation for water today by doing a giant human wave. Yeah. Okay, so I want everyone, let's practice. Everybody stand up and put your arms up. And then drop them down, sit down. Great. One more time, everyone. Arms up and sit down. Okay, now follow me. When I pass by you, arms up and down. Here we go. Woo! All right, don't put your arms up until I pass you, okay? Well, let's try it with Carolyn. Here we go. Go! Beautiful. Okay, one last time with both of us. Here we go. Woo!